Hey everybody, it's Vex here, and I've got a little module to show you today that I made mostly for the currently running campaign that we're running on the Grim Press server, Discord server. Uh, we're running Descent into Avernus, and you can tune in live every Friday evening U.S. time where we play Descent into Avernus. We usually start at 6 p.m. Pacific. Uh, Now, they were going to Arkhan's Tower, which is a location in Avernus that details a bunch of encounters, but there were no maps to go along with it. So in my prepping, I made some maps, and I also changed the way the encounters work, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and release this on the DM's Guild because other people might like it. So we are in Unity. This is to show off the difference between the Unity version and the classic version. The classic version has the maps, it has the encounters, it has the story. It also has a reference manual with inline images. Um, and the Unity version has more. So first of all, I'm going to show you the cover art because it is really cool. And this is by Grim Press in-house artist Bob Gravenstein. And whoops. And then I'm going to kind of lead you through what is going on in here. So Arkhan's Tower. That's the. Let's get started with chapter 1. Arkhan's Tower, as I said, is a location in the adventure Baldur's Gate: Descent into Avernus, and it has a bunch of encounters and stuff, but there weren't any maps. There really aren't even encounters built. It just references that you face a number of undead and dragons and such. Excuse my dogs. They're playing with each other. I'm trying to get them to be quiet. Go on. Okay, so when you arrive at the tower, I went ahead. I did change this text here so that it matches more closely the map. And I'm going to go ahead and bring up the first map. And as you can see, it's got some nice, cool FX built into it with these clouds and mists and stuff going. And if you zoom in on the lava is actually moving because I added that effect. It also has line of sight built into the map. So if I turn on line of sight here, and then we add a token, say right here, and click on our little test token, you can see he can't see in the tower because I haven't opened the door. And these obstacles are blocking his vision too, the big rocks. And boy, I've just got all sorts of sounds going on today. So we're going to go ahead and add the first encounter that they encounter. And as you can see, there's a bunch of unique monsters, including a giant zombie and some demon zombies. There's skeletons and there's regular zombies as well. Just to show you kind of where they show up on this map. And I'm going to go ahead and remove them. And we'll move on. We're going to come back to this map, though, in a minute. But we're going to go ahead and move on to when they go inside the tower. Now, these links here, all except for the middle one, the encounter, all link to the actual Baldur's Gate adventure. So if you want to pull up an image of Krull, that's from the Baldur's Gate adventure. That's not in this module. This parcel is also not in this module, but it is linked still here for your convenience. Now, inside the tower, I made a map. The adventure mentions it is a 9-level tower, but it didn't say if that includes the roof or not. So I have decided that the 9 levels are leveled European style. So 9 is actually the roof and the ground floor isn't counted. And so as you can see, there is line of sight on this, but there's no effects. But there is line of sight So, your players are on level 1, they only see what's going on in level 1, and they don't see around the corner until they move around the corner, and then when they do, you can activate. This is where Vista Lancer, the uh, blue dragon, makes his lair. I'm going to go ahead and turn off line of sight so you can see the rest of the map. But there is line of sight on all of those levels. I can show you there's the line of sight on all of the levels, including the roof, if you want to use this roof. But I have an alternate for you if you don't want to use the roof for the final encounter. Or what maybe. I mean, everything may end up a little bit different. But all of the dragons that are mentioned in the Baldur's Gate adventure that you encounter are here. There's a layer on level 1, a green dragon layer on level 3. This level here, I added a bunch of skeletons, assuming that either Arkhan or Krull maybe practices some of their necromancy in this room. So all of these little skeletons and thrones can be raised, and you can do that however you want. And then the black dragon layer here, and then the wormling, the red wormling here. I assume that Arkhan or Krull makes their home in here. And then this is like the gathering treasure that they're using to hopefully summon Tiamat, and then where they eventually plan to summon Tiamat once the dragons are full grown or whatever, on the top of the tower. Now, if they get to the top of the tower and you decide that's when you want the white dragon to attack, that's included in the adventure, you may decide this is just too tiny for a white dragon that might be flying around and doing stuff. So what you want is actually to go back to this first map that I mentioned. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the line of sight so you can see the map a little bit better. And as you'll notice, there's a couple of different effects going on. There's like an ocean and a water effect in the lava to give it that kind of steamy look, as well as like a kind of a flow, and you'll notice it's kind of jostling. And then the two different cloud effects are to make it really dark and kind of like ashy, like the skies are filled with ash. But there's also two maps here. There's the outside map, and then there's the top of the tower map. The top of the tower map is underneath the top map because when you decide to get to the end of the encounter, you can make this map invisible. So now no one can see it, and you can see the top of the tower, and there's even a roof over this area here. And if you get to this point and you decide you do want to do this, one of the quick things you can do, so because right now the effects are going around the top of the tower, the clouds. So what you can do is go to this cloud here and click that, and then this one. Oops, I think I just added an additional set of clouds somehow. I don't know what I clicked to do that. I probably accidentally did. Oh no. No, I deleted it. Okay, so we're gonna I don't think I can do that. I don't know how to revert a map in Unity. There's got to be a way to revert a map, but I accidentally deleted it. But you can do the same thing for the other layer, but you can remove the mask that was there, and then the clouds will flow over. I'm still learning Unity, but I think these maps really add to something, but and make this location very cool. For instance, there's the white dragon encounter, and I decided I wanted him when they come up on top of the tower. He's like landed in the tree there. So, and then he can attack them from there. So the other thing that is in this is if you noticed on all those levels of the inside, there is a small hoard for each of the dragons. So each of these parcels is a small hoard. Now, this is a lot of gold and a lot of coinage. However, coins really aren't worth much when you're in Avernus. So the only one that's really worth anything is when you get to Tiamat's Horde. There are a bunch of soul coins there, which those are the real currency of Avernus. So even Tiamat's Horde, which they're preparing to try and summon Tiamat, there's a massive amount of coins and gold, and it would make your players super rich if they can carry it all. You don't have to include any of these, but for my game, it's worthless to them. If they want to fill up their bag of holding with as much coinage as they can, I'm gonna let them because they can't do anything with it until they leave Avernus. And when they leave Avernus, the adventure's over. So, but I hope you enjoyed looking at what the Unity version of this module does. All of this same stuff is in the Fantasy Grounds Classic version, and it will work just fine. It's just it doesn't have the map FX and the line of sight, but everything else is there. So enjoy.